Man, Jay Davis down here on my right. I almost called you Chop.
No, don't do that.
I got the young Chop.
I'm not there yet.
Nick Reed got the legend Chop Buchanan with us. Have Lucas Waka with Waka Resolution. How's that been going for you, man? Been open about a year now, right?
Yeah, it'll be a year November 1st. So it's been going well, man. We've grown it from zero to a lot of people, a lot of adults coming through there. So see a lot of athletes that we'll see out here tonight that been coming through there. So it's a great feeling.
That's my favorite part of opening a business is the building phase. And then, like, once it's built, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then it's work after that.
Yeah, no doubt. No,
you know.
Yeah, it's been going really well, man. It's definitely a blessing. You know, I love the coaching, being able to stay in the coaching and stay in the sports and helping kids become better athletes is definitely a thing that I've looked forward to every day.
That's all. Nick helps you out a little bit too, right?
Oh yeah,
most definitely. I love going down there. I started training a while ago, and then going down there just gets me back into it, rejuvenated. And then, like you said, getting to touch these kids, you know what I mean, and change their lives and change their athleticism, man. It's a huge deal.
Well, man, we're here for this PG versus LE rivalry game. Chop, have you ever missed one?
Yeah, I missed last year.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, I missed
That's a
last
bad
year.
question. Chop, when's the first time you remember coming to one?
Oh, man, it had to be when Jeff Wright was quarterbacking.
Well, you got to educate me.
that's
I hadn't
back
lived
in-
here very long.
Yeah, that would have been the late 80s.
Late 87, 88,
He
something
graduated
like that.
in 89.
Yeah, 88, 87, 88, 89, something like that.
Do you have an idea of what the win-loss record is here?
I want to say that we probably have a slight edge on them. We've lost that edge here the last several years, but before then, it was out with no question. LA was a better team because we had the bigger team.
Old heads were saying it was like a 80% winning percentage for LA.
I would say that if I had to guess. I don't know.
Well, that's
for
not a
sure.
slight edge, Chop.
Well,
If you go to the casino, you bet the house
but
on
the
that.
last, like I said, the last several years, you know, it's been PG. But back then, you know, when we were a bigger school where we really had our numbers, you know, it was LA. You know, some of the games weren't even competitive.
Yeah. You two guys have played in a competitive game and some non-competitive games. Tell us a little bit about it.
We have. We played in some non-competitive games early in our career over here. And then our senior year, we came back over here, and we had a really close one with them. We still came out on the bottom, but we had a really close one with them over here our senior year.
So y'all are over against the Iowa.
freshman year we won.
Freshman year, we won, yeah.
Big.
Now, tell me, which one was that when was nothing mud out here?
Oh, the Mud Bowl, that was in
Yeah.
2010.
So let's talk about that story real quick. So I believe there was no rain in the forecast or anything and we were a high offense, like we were Oregon kind of offense with fast pace, passing a lot, you know, and they were I formation and all of a sudden we come out here and the whole field is just soaking wet of mud and things like that. And I don't remember any rain. It was a weird. Obviously, Trey Carson, you give him the ball 40 times, then
It rained 2 weeks before that. That's why the field
yeah, exactly. it was real strange. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well,
It was
the
weird.
good thing is we got turf tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
The sprinklers were working that week.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
They must have broke.
Yeah, that used to happen a lot, though.
we never did that now. Come on.
Trey Carson went for about 250 for about 4 years in a row. So
It didn't bother him.
it didn't bother him.
Well, I know Pleasant Grove, for some reason, sometimes their mowers would break and the grass would be a little long in the
LE week.
80s.
Yeah,
Is
no
that
doubt.
what would happen?
So a little slow down those
down a
quicker
little bit.
teams.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I think it goes without saying we have the most evenly matched teams we've had since game day started in 19 in this rivalry this particular week. I mean, it could literally go either way. Chop, what do you think Liberty-Eylau has to do well tonight?
Hold on
get
to
a
the
win?
ball. We made a lot of last week against Gilmer. 33 seconds left in the half. The score is 28-20, and we're driving, and we throw a pick six, and that's literally the ball game. Other than that, we were giving them all that they could handle.
Yeah.
And we just got to cut down on the mistakes. I think this week that the kids are really tuned in and locked in. Walk through the dressing room, and you can hear a pin drop. And when you can hear that, when you don't hear people in there chattering and joking around, that's focus. And that's what in order to hang on to the ball, you got to be focused. And I'm hoping that's what's going to transpire tonight.
So last time I was here, the Atlanta game, this place was absolutely packed out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen it like that before. The environment was great. The atmosphere was great. You think it'll be like that tonight?
I hope so, but one thing that fueled that was that it was homecoming, and there was several classes had their class reunion that week, And there was people that came in normally don't get a chance to see the Leopards play. And anytime Atlanta comes, they're going to bring a crowd, especially when they win. And they brought their fans with them, and they were loud, very loud. So hoping for the same thing tonight. Texas High's not here, and PG's over here playing us, and then Arkansas High is what it is. And if you want to see good football, this is the place to be.
Yeah, you still have time to get here an hour before kickoff. Come out. I mean, it's going to be – I got excited for the Longview-Lancaster game. I was excited for that. But this is the game you kind of circle and like, man, I'm kind of excited, especially this year.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this year.
Most definitely. Like you said just a second ago, I think this is the most evenly matched rivalry we've seen in a long time between these two teams. I think Liberty-Eylau, their defense is playing really, really good this season. I mean, they're not letting up very many points. And then you got PG coming in, whose offense, has kind of struggled a little bit this year, or struggled more than we've seen in the past. So I think right there, just that alone just makes this matchup a matchup for destruction. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Liberty-Eyelau's lost to a 4A Division I team in Sulphur Springs, and they lost to Gilmer, which Gilmer's a legitimate number 2 ranked team in the state. So, I mean, and they hung with them for the entire first half. And then you look at Pleasant Grove, should have went in, I would say, 7-0 at half. It ended up being 14-0. And then same thing happened to both of them. It got away from them in the second half.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is as evenly matched as it gets. I think it's really going to come down to how well can LE pass the ball, and then, of course, how good can Pleasant Grove run the ball. But you're my stat man. What do you think?
Well, I think that in order for Liberty-Eylau to see success tonight, they're going to have to score.
Absolutely.
One of the things that has concerned me, thanks. It took a lot of education for that. But one of the things that concerns me, just looking at LE stats, is the offense as far as what they're scoring. It's less than 20 points a game. They're going to have to score more than 20 tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And then for Pleasant Grove, they haven't seen the 11 guys on offense on any film. So tonight's going to be a new LE team for me to watch.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be exciting to me. Can Liberty-Eylau score? And then, we've all heard about Liberty-Eyelau's defense. I'm excited to see how they're going to match up against the running game of Pleasant Grove.
I agree. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game, to watch the game tonight and, see how these two teams battle, especially a rivalry game. You get different emotions during a rivalry game rather than just a regular game. Obviously, Gilmer is a big game, so you'll see a lot of emotions that game. But I think both teams played Gilmer the same way. Yeah. So it's a pretty even team. I think it's going to determine if LE, what we've seen in the past is the eyes on the defense, if they can track the ball with all the misdirection stuff that Pleasant Grove is going to do. And that's what's killed them in the past. So it'll be, or in the past couple years. So that'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, especially with the new defensive coordinator that LE has.
And this will be the first game in about the last 3 weeks that JJ will have all 4 of his starting receivers from the beginning of the year with him. And people say, well, JJ's not a runner. He can run, but he won't. But one thing he can do, and we've seen that the last 3 weeks, he can throw the ball.
He can spin it.
I heard a lot of talk about the Gilmer quarterback and, his stats and stuff. But he got guys to go up and get the ball. JJ is going to put the ball where it needs to be. We just got guys that are going to have to step up and catch the ball. Yeah, he's done a great job the last couple of weeks.
I think that's something that needs to be talked about in this game too, though. JJ Hampton, he's going to be a key factor in this game. You know what I mean? He's got to sling it the way he's been slinging it all season. This isn't the game to let it be a drop-off here. But if he can come out and sling it how he's been slinging it, it's going to be a tough task for that Pleasant Grove secondary to keep up with.
Yeah, I mean, I think it literally – and, like, y'all both played Division I football. You played professionally. When you have 3 wide receivers with Prevost, Telly Wells, and the Cam Cooper kid, how is Pleasant Grove going to stop that?
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen in the past is Pleasant Grove's been playing a lot of man. So it'll be interesting to see who they match up. If Akari played last week, he didn't play much defense. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes back out and plays corner like he did against Gilmer, and which he played really well against Tennyson or against all the Flu Ellens and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But I think the main thing is if they can get pressure. How do you stop a passing offense is getting pressure on a quarterback. So if they can get pressure on the quarterback, then I think it'll be a tough night to complete those passes, because that's always tough on a quarterback.
Yeah. Gilman came out in man coverage, and we lit them up. Like the first quarter and part of the second quarter, they came out in man, and JJ just lit them up. So that's going to be interesting to see what adjustments, if we do get up and start passing the ball pretty good and receivers hang on to the ball, what adjustment that Gilman made. They came out the last part of the second quarter and the whole second half in a 3-man front and dropped everybody else in coverage.
Yeah. And you're going to have to do something like that tonight, too, because we can't forget about the big year W.T. Jones is having at the tight end position.
Crazy dog,
as well.
man.
So we've got 3 guys spread out, and you've also got W.T. coming off the line, making a lot of catches for the Leopards. So I don't think we'll see very much man tonight at all from PG.
Yeah, to me, Jamin Wheeler is going to have a big night. Yep. You know, he's the leading sack person for Pleasant Grove right now, and you know he's probably going to have to duplicate what he has for the season tonight. You know, to put Hampton in some distress to be able to make some maybe some ill-advised throws. You know, the secondary for Pleasant Grove, R.J. Collins has been added back there since he's come back. I think that's going to be a strength. Akari Johnson's a difference maker back there. Yeah. You know, the one thing that I'm interested in seeing is, how's Torian Phillips going to be able to, come to the limelight, because we're probably going to be thrown on more tonight than we have, in previous games.
No doubt.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
We're back live from Harrisville. We added head coach Waski Davis with us. Man, how's the week been?
Been a great week. We've had fun this week. My kids have really rose to the challenge this week.
Man, it's always one of the weeks like everybody kind of circles. This year in particular, man, like it just feels like this is the most evenly, if you look at all the athletes, it's just as even as it could be. How excited are the kids for this? I mean, I kind of hated y'all played Gilmer right before because it felt like they might have been looking ahead.
Yeah, it was a combination of things with that. Kids, this is one game they circled on the calendar from start. I mean, this is the one game they talk about, and Gilmer, we kind of serious with them, but at the same time, the kids, they know them and they know us, so it's a real big rivalry just between the kids. They know each other and they want to get after each other.
Well, the kids aren't the only ones that circle this game. Your fans do too.
Oh my goodness!
And so
I'm telling you.
What do you get out of your LE fans that are going to show up tonight?
They're going to show up in full force tonight. This is one of the games we've been questioned all year about, and now it's here. So they said they're going to come support the kids, and they want us to get after them.
So I'm going to get right to the point. What's the keys to victory tonight for the LE Leopards?
We got to take care of the football. We can't have any turnovers. We got to eliminate their explosive plays, and we got to tackle well.
Yeah.
Coach, you know who this is?
No.
Tell them who you are.
Lucas Walker.
Oh, okay. All right. First time I've been close enough to you. I've seen you, but I know who you are.
Oh, man. And
I didn't know where that was going.
You'll find out in time. That's kind of what I do. I bring color to the show. You know, not only when I'm out here with Morgan, but, I'm on 107.9 with Tony Kirk and Chuck Jack a lot of times. And that's what I do. Sometimes, you might want to liven things up a little bit, and that's what I bring to the table. I'm kind of like Coach Davis, a spark plug, I guess you can call me that.
Yeah.
Well, Coach,
there ain't no harm meant, man.
So the talk between all the talking heads this week is the LE passing game. JJ's playing the best he's ever played. You have a freshman with Prevo leading the area in touchdown receptions. Telly Wells had a big-time game last week. Still got Caden Cooper. What's the what's the plan, I guess, to spread that ball out to keep Pleasant Grove honest, not double team one of them guys?
Yeah, we know a lot of people have been trying to, Mount Pleasant try to take Prevo away from us, doubling them up. So Telly's been nursing a sprained ankle for quite a while, been off and on, so it's kind of taken away. So Cooper kind of eliminated some of the doubles, but at the same time now we got both of them back healthy, and so we feel good about if you want to do that, you're going to give up some explosive plays with these two because both of them are really extremely fast.
Yeah. I was telling somebody this morning actually, like, JJ can run. We saw it in the Atlanta game, Chop.
Yep.
We had a conversation about it. Like, he was a lot faster and quicker than I thought he actually was. I had no reason to think he was slow. I just assumed he was slow.
Yeah,
Turns out JJ's not.
Yeah, he worked his tail off this summer. He threw it a bunch this summer, and he really worked on his body. And now he can run, and he thinks he's Ezekiel Elliott at times. So, but we have fun, but he will tuck it. Years previous, we didn't really have a backup, so we told him he better not run. So now he knows he got a backup, so he'll run a little bit.
Well, one of the things that I'm looking forward to tonight is how you're going to use Greg London, because this is going to be one of the first games that you do have all the options to throw to. That's probably going to open up some opportunities for him to get some yardage.
You're right. You're so right. I mean, if they start trying to double Prevo and do some things, well, again, Greg's going to have fun tonight because he's a big old body, 200 pounds, extremely strong, and runs with low center of gravity. So we feel like now for the rest of the season he's going to get a lot of yards because they got to take one of the options away from him, either passing the game or run. So
I feel like it's always there's a line of danger of just being just crazy out of control and being a great football player with Tracy Revels.
Yeah.
How do you control that?
Tracy, he's really grown here in the last little bit. He's a captain, but he became a vocal captain. And Tracy he's probably the most focused I've ever seen him in. I've been with him since he's a freshman. And like I said, he's starting to come around and do what Tracy's supposed to do. And he's starting to have some fun, too. The recruiting process kind of got after him a little bit, kind of messed his head up. But I think now he's settled down and he's getting back to old Tracy.
Good.
Now, Tracy's a guy that I would say reminds me a lot of you. You can put him in different situations, different positions, and he's going to give you top number 1A performance. And he's real focused and he's driven. He's driven to be the best at what he does. And I think the world of him. I know Coach Davis does. He's just that type of player.
Yeah, he plays corner, safety, outside linebacker on defense. He picks it all up well. He plays slot receiver, number 1 receiver, fullback. I mean, he does it all. He can do anything.
Yeah. All right, Coach, we'll let you get back to it. Appreciate your time. Best of luck tonight.
All right,
we'll be right back after this break.
Life is busy, and we get it. The State Bank mobile app was designed to make banking more convenient for you. Check account activity, make transfers, pay bills, and manage your debit card in a snap. You can deposit checks from the convenience of your home or wherever life lands you. The State Bank app lets you organize your accounts, manage alerts, and easily email our customer service experts. Now that you have State Bank at your fingertips, you can spend more time doing what's important to you.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
We are back. We got Nick Reed back with us. We have the head coach, two-time state champion, head coach Josh Gibson with us, man. How's today?
It's been good. Really good day today.
When he lowered my volume, it messed me up. How's your week been?
The week's been even better than the day. I hope the day caps off as good as the week has. And, I mean, as a coach, that's what you try to preach is, you know, the game's won Monday through Thursday. You get to play Friday, and it's kind of a reap what you sow thing. But we changed up a bunch of what we were doing in practice, one just to kind of cut the monotony out for kids when it gets this late in the season. Because either teams kind of get stale or you're growing, or if you're getting stale, you're kind of going backwards. And I think it was the best week of the year we had. I think our coaches feel that way. I think our kids feel that way. So we're in a good spot come Friday based off the week.
Good. Coming off a shutout win against Pittsburgh, Liberty-Eylau poses some problems, though. I mean, a good passing game, 3 really great wide receivers, quarterback that can sling it. How are you stopping this offense tonight?
Yeah, I think just like us focusing on ourselves, like right now, that's what it's got to be. They have playmakers and they have kids that are really good athletes. Their defense has been playing really, really hard this year. I give them and tip my hat and ton of credit. But, like, our guys, all we got to do is focus on ourselves and ball out. I know the kids were coached up schematically, so play in the scheme and play full tilt. And I think that's something we might have been missing. I think, and that kind of goes on me. I think since 19, I kind of, you know, we might not have been as talented, and so I wanted to give some soft compliments and get kids in a little different spot. But I think this week has been a big transformation for our program, and that doesn't mean that means it's an automatic W. I think that means that how we play, how we prepare, how we treat each other, and how we go about this game and the games after that, it's going to look different. Like, we're putting the heart and soul and full tilt back in PG football because I think it's been lacking a smidge. Not a lot. I mean, we've been playing good, but playing elite and great, that's what we're after, and I'm hoping that's what we see tonight.
Yes, sir. What facet of the game do you think your team had to step up in the most tonight to take home the dub?
Man, just really not beating ourselves, you know, because like what Morgan was attesting to, they have so much speed. If we break down a coverage, it's a quick 6. And I told them we could be playing great, and it's a quick 6. But one play's a quick 6. That's not a quick 30. You know, we can bounce back from a big play. Just can't have a ton of mistakes. And so that's breakdown in coverage. That's also penalties and things of that nature. I think playing clean. And then I think if you do that, the full tilt part takes care of everything else.
Well, to me, on defense, the speed that the defensive ends are going to be able to get to the quarterback is going to be telling tonight. What are you looking for as far on your defensive side, especially on that front 4?
I mean, just playing extremely physical and fast. That's what you have to do on a D-line period. You got to be able to go out there and shut down a run game, and then with their athletes and their passing and getting to the quarterback, we got to play fast. And so physical and fast and play to the whistle.
Yeah, we talked a lot about, you know, Liberty-Eilau's offense and Pleasant Grove's defense. What do you expect out of Pleasant Grove Hawks scoring points tonight and putting numbers up?
Yeah, I think we did a great job of that last week. You know, it felt weird because our ones only had 20-some-odd plays, but we took care of business in those plays. And so I think we build on that. I think our kids come out and we attempt to go score every possession we have it. We may come up short on a couple of those, but I think for us to play dominant football in the way we expect to, we got to be able to do that. And we did it last week, so it's time to build on that part.
No doubt.
So do you have any conversations this week about just kids' emotions and being in control of those?
Yeah, and I mean, not a ton up to this point because more than the emotions on a rivalry game in this moment, I'm more worried about how we're acting towards each other and if we're 100% turned over every single stone. And for us, I think there was some stones that we needed to turn over, focus on ourselves, and that's what we did. And so, I mean, I probably had 9 hours of meetings with unbelievable, awesome kids that are almost there, and it's like, let's go fill up the cup, and let's be able to pour into others and do that deal. And we'll talk about it right before we come out, not lose yourself in this type of game because it's an easy thing for a kid to do. But I think if they're doing that, they're also going to peter out pretty quick, and you got to play 4 quarters of football, and the game's played, you know, in between those whistles, and all the jockeying around and some of that, there's going to be a little bit of that. I mean, these dudes are kids, and both schools are going to be hyped for the game, but settle down, play with class, play together, play full tilt.
Spencer Danner's leading the Texarkana area in rushing, also leading the district in rushing. What kind of night do you perceive for him tonight?
Man, I hope it's a big one. If it's not, we're probably in trouble a little bit. Spencer's one of 6 backs that's pretty good for us, and he has the most yardage. He gets the run behind the 2 big guys a lot of times, in Vic and Lance, and that's our bread and butter play. Some of the other guys have to run in between the tackles, but I mean, so did Nick Martin, and you saw him truck over people left and right.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares, man? Let's go ball and get in and get yours while you're in there. And I think we have 6 backs pumped up and fired up to get in and make some noise tonight.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned about the running backs. Last year, Jalen Bordley had 147 yards and 2 TDs. From what I've been hearing from him, he's geared up for tonight's game. What have you done for him this week to get him involved on the offensive side?
Just the same thing as everybody else. I mean, we're preaching team and not kid, and so I think Bordley's going to get his. I think he's going to play both sides of the ball and get some special teams, and it's like, go make it happen while you're out there, but that's him and everybody else.
Yes, sir. We talk about the kids, keeping their head in this game, but we haven't talked about it as the coaches. What are you guys having to do as a coaching staff to stay within yourself in this game as well?
Yeah, right now, about to have to calm my ass down because I'm pretty lit, man, to be honest with you. And I don't think I've been this fired up or geeked up for a game, but like I do. I got to go out there and walk around a little bit. Today's been a busy day. I hadn't had 5 minutes off, and that's why that's why I asked you for that bottle of water. It's been a marathon to get here, but this is the fun part, and it's time to relax and put it in the kids' hands and us make good calls and stay within ourselves and ball out. It's going to be fun.
Awesome, Coach. Well, man, we'll let you get to it. Appreciate you coming on. Best of luck tonight.
All right,
and
baby.
We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys.
You've spent years working hard to create your financial security. Reward yourself with a checking account designed specifically for you by a bank that shows you the outstanding level of customer service you deserve. With State Bank's Elite Checking, you can qualify for a competitive rate of interest, no monthly service fee, free checks, and superior customer service. Let State Bank be your bank for service, relationships, and living life to its fullest.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Yep, White Bear. And we are back. We added I always want to call you head coach. The superintendent, Mr. Thompson, with us tonight. Man, how's it going?
Going great. How
are things going over here in Eylau?
It's been great. Great school year. Everything seems to be rocking along quick.
Does anybody actually call it the island, or is that just what Earl calls it? I've never heard this term.
The island.
That's what Earl
calls it. That's a new term
it.
for me,
too.
All
right. I always call it the Eylau, but he started calling it the island. I thought, well, maybe I've been messing up.
No, you're good.
Okay, all right.
I'll have to talk to Earl.
Yeah. Earl comes up with these made-up terms. I don't know what any of them mean. They don't even make sense.
But, Mr. Thompson, the Leopards have been firing on all cylinders this season. You being the superintendent, what does that mean to you, and what does that mean for this school?
It's always great when you have a winning program, something going on. It just makes the school year go by quicker, but it also brings a lot of excitement just to the school itself and the community. And so we'll see that again here tonight.
Yes, sir.
We had a long conversation during that Atlanta game. 4-0, you go play a 4A Division I, play Sulphur Springs, and you lose to the number 2 ranked team in the state. great football team this year. This is the closest matchup in the last few years, at least since game day started, between these two teams. How exciting is it just for the school district? And we'll probably have the same question over and over, but it's just like there's a different vibe tonight.
Oh, there always is. When you're playing a rival across town, I mean, there's always a different vibe because the kids know each other. They grow up playing other sports outside of school with each other. You know, they've done it since they were in grade school. So there's a lot of camaraderie, but at the same time, you know, tonight they're facing off against each other as foes.
And that's one thing, like, I guess I'm a little bit older than y'all, but them two, not y'all.
Okay, I was going to say, man.
But I didn't know these kids when we played against them. I didn't know any of them. And now it's like everybody knows each other. They're all friends. Like, I wasn't friends with kids from Marshall, you know, and all that when I was at Longview.
Okay.
I see them on Instagram. They'll go live together, and they'll talk a little mess back. That's another thing. They don't know how to talk mess anymore. It's not near as good as you can tell. It's almost like it's planned out, like it's a boxing
Just
match.
like Earl made up, you know, the term, they make up their own terms as well. So you just don't know the lingo.
Yeah. Hey, so we've partnered with Liberty-Eylau TV this year. First year. I know it was a thing in the past. First year back. Ronald Macaramba left us, come over with LETV. He's done a great job. Speak a little bit about some of the things he's doing, opportunities that's becoming available for kids.
Oh, wow. It's just, you know, first of all, he's just a great mentor for kids. He's like kids are just attracted to him. And he's a natural teacher. I mean, he does just a great job teaching and working with kids. But he's also brought a level of excitement because he's been able to highlight programs in the school and show the community, you know, this is what they do. Just to give an example, you probably saw today he highlighted the cosmetology program. Well, usually when we think of cosmetology, we think of people going out and being hairstylists, you know, a salon. But these kids are working, you know, on sci-fi cosmetology.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just incredible just to see what they're working on. And I don't think community realizes that. Until you highlight something like that, they don't really understand what you actually teach them nowadays.
Yeah. You know the thing about Ron, and like you almost get mad about it. He's the most likable person you've ever met in your entire life, and it's just like, how do you?
Extremely talented.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like he's got everything. You know, it's just like, man, this dude. You know, but I still remember the first time I met Ron. I dropped a car off in the water. Like, this dude is doing the wrong thing. We got to get you something else. You know, he was working at the college, playing soccer, trying to get by, and see where he's at now. Man, he's if y'all don't know, Ron's from Tanzania.
Oh yeah.
Was not a foreign exchange student, but came over to play soccer in California. Ended up at Texarkana A&M, and came to work for Game Day right after he graduated. Now he's here at LE. Big things for him. Just excited for him and what he's been able to do over here. And it's been a great partnership for Game Day.
Yes.
Sometimes when those start, you really don't know how they're going to go. The kids do a great job with the cameras. Ron does a great job teaching them. The videos that come out are great. It's been a great partnership for us. Looking forward to many years looking forward with it.
Good.
Now, last night, one thing I like about him, start liking him more last night, is that he made me a promise that he's going to get us some kickers in here next year. he said, I promise you, I might have plenty of kickers. He said, I can't do nothing about it this year, but next year I'll have plenty of kickers.
Well,
that's because you know he'll be working with our soccer team.
Exactly.
So
don't try to throw Ron out there in a uniform though. We saw him at the combine last year. Remember? He's not going to fit in on the football field.
But he understands the game. He knows.
Oh yeah, he's getting there.
He's starting to understand the game.
They had,
let's put it that way.
They had a laser 40 somewhere, and he said he wanted to run it. It wasn't good.
It
I learned soccer players don't run. They don't run 40s. It was slow.
It was slow.
Whatever it was.
Sure.
It was so slow. I thought I could do better. That's how slow it was.
But we're talking about the programs that he's highlighting over here. So give us a little bit of insight on what the Liberty-Eylau has going on outside of just athletics. Because he did highlight the cosmetology. I know his classroom is right up next to a couple of grills sitting outside where they're doing some cooking and stuff going on over there.
So he's probably next to culinary arts.
There we go.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic program to be next to you because they're always cooking something.
Exactly.
And that's a great setup. We do a lot of dual credit through our career and technology programs. And one of those is culinary arts, but we also do a lot with welding and work real closely with Leadwell on our welding program. Yeah. Auto Tech, got a great Auto Tech program as well as Auto Body in there. And so those are just a few. Health Science Technology is a big one. I could go on and on. I mean, we got several of them, but it's just great to be able to highlight, again, the more detailed work that they do within those programs that you don't conventionally think about.
Yes, sir.
career in technology, I didn't really know a whole lot about it when we started game day. Like over time, I've learned more how important career in technology program is. And,
of course, you know, in my day, it was vocational education.
Yeah.
They call it career in technology education, but it's the old VOTEC. So you're learning a trade.
Yeah. All we had was learn how to cut wood.
Wood shop.
Wood shop. That's what we had. we halfway learned how to do that.
As long as you didn't, I see you got all your digits.
Yeah, got all my fingers.
You're doing good.
But man, hey, we appreciate you being on. Y'all always roll out the red carpet for us. Love coming over to the ILO, or the island, whatever you want to call it.
The island.
The island.
You sure he wasn't saying you were on an island?
No, he said. I've heard him say it a bunch.
It's an island.
I've heard him say it a bunch.
It had something to do with the railroad track separating.
He tried to explain it one day. It didn't make any sense. He just made it up. He just made it up. Let's just call it what it is. He just made it up. I'm starting to call him Bigfoot or Mr. One Foot.
Earl, man.
We didn't have Earl on here to defend himself.
I know. I thought he was going to come on. He was standing back there a little bit ago.
Well, Mr. Thompson, man, we appreciate your time. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
I know
Appreciate
you're excited.
it.
Stands will be filled. I'm excited for the atmosphere.
Yep. And great weather.
Great weather.
Yeah, great weather for tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Chop, you're tired. You may enjoy that.
You've spent years working hard to create your financial security. Reward yourself with a checking account designed specifically for you by a bank that shows you the outstanding level of customer service you deserve. With State Bank's Elite Checking, you can qualify for a competitive rate of interest, no monthly service fee, free checks, and superior customer service. Let State Bank be your bank for service, relationships, and living life to its fullest.
And now I got a reason to come to Fayetteville.
Yep.
What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
Man, good. We're living our best life, but not as good as your best life. You know, in the top 10 in sacks in the SEC, starting in the SEC, bright future. Tell us about your season so far.
I think it's going pretty well. I mean, I got a lot to improve on. I got a lot to do to make myself more of an elite athlete. But I think overall, I mean, I couldn't expect much more right now. So.
Starting as a sophomore in the SEC, still staying humble. I meant to ask you this about lunch today. That dude, that tackle from Alabama, is he like a first-round, top 5, top 1 pick?
He was. We're actually in the same grade. He was the number one
that dude's
player.
Sophomore?
He was the number one player of my class.
Landon was going up against the dude with Alabama. All right, and I got pictures of it. He made Landon look small. That was the biggest dude I've seen on a football field in a long time. Am I lying?
I mean, yeah, he's pretty big.
I mean, how big do you think he was? Am I just over-exaggerating?
He's about, he's 6'6", 330 of just muscle. So,
yeah. I mean, his legs were like that big around.
Yeah. I have a cousin that plays at Texas Tech. He's from Mansell High School out there in Arlington. He's 6'7", 360-something, 370 pounds.
Alabama, no, it's no disrespect to Arkansas. When Alabama came on the field, I was down that way, and it looked like a professional football team. I mean, just when they would come out, there were no kids on that team. They had a bunch of grown men. And like from the guy that probably doesn't get to play any to the guy starting, they all look exactly the same. It's crazy.
And you know, it's kind of ironic. You know, the segment that I wasn't on, I was down watching PG, and I feel the same way. But there's D1 kids down there. That's what it looked like. They're big. They're quick. Oh, why you stop talking? Come on.
Well, I mean, I didn't know where you want me to go with that. I didn't know where you wanted me to go with that, Chop.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have 7 players with Division I offers.
Okay.
One committed to UTSA. Caleb Hackelman was just given his 3-star ranking today.
Okay.
We had a long conversation with the 247 guy this week. He's a 4-star potential, 4-star body, 3-star player right now. If those ever come together, he could be a high 4-star. You know, he's got offers from Baylor, a couple other colleges right now, but he's visited Oklahoma already. I mean, big kid, 6'7", you can't miss him. You got Vic playing interior tackle, going to UTSA. Big kid, we know he can play football. Have Akari Johnson with Division I offers. Caden McFadden. I know I'm missing some guys. Bordley, I missed that.
Well,
in
this week, we've had plenty of people get hurt as far as linebacker role for Pleasant Grove. Logan Holt, he got his first offer this week.
Great.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely fun seeing those young men, be able to get those accolades.
And on the flip side, you got Tracy Revels committed to UTSA. You have Greg London with offer. You have Prevost with a Penn State offer as an 8th grader. And I didn't mean to leave your brother out, but Lance is already a 5-star player in his class. He's the 13th ranked player in the nation.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that yet because of his age. When he gets that junior senior, I mean, I see a Rivals guy here tonight. There'll be 5 of them guys on the football field if he's a 5-star, just like it was when Landon was playing.
Right.
So a lot of talent, not only here but in all of Texarkana.
Oh yeah.
Texas High has 14 players with Division I offers right now. Liberty-Eylau sitting with 5, I believe, with Division I offers. So I mean, I always think like this. Imagine if there were just one 5A Division I school or 6A school.
6A,
oh my God! Can you imagine?
No. Imagine if all of them was on this side of the interstate.
Well, that would be unfair. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, but
or as Earl say, all of them on this side of the railroad track.
Yeah. So I mean, Texarkana is blessed with athletes. But
Yes.
the first year we started that particular cast, like with Landon, Marcus, Clayton, Damian Collins down in Atlanta, I don't know. As great as our athletes are here, I don't know if we ever see something like that again.
Yeah,
I mean, we had 2 5-star players in the same city as football players. Then you have arguably the greatest basketball player ever to come out of East Texas, right down the road.
Yes.
McDonald's High School All-American. We'll start at Kentucky this year. We'll be a professional this time next year.
Well, one thing that I will say, one of the greatest things about you being in Fayetteville, all of those players that are still undecided, they're all going to see where you came from, and they're going to look at not necessarily just Pleasant. They're going to look at Texarkana because we saw the same thing when Trey and LaMichael were being recruited. It actually opened the door for other kids, probably for yourself also. They start coming to Texarkana because of Trey and LaMichael and other guys that were playing there.
We talk
Nathan Vasher, they start coming to Texarkana.
That's a very good point. We talk about that all the time. Like somebody like Clayton, Landon, Marcus, they don't need help. Well, it ain't like we can call Texas A&M and be like, hey, you need to offer this kid. Like, we don't have that kind of pull. But the exposure that they bring all the kids around them is what matters.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind 2 years ago, there are kids playing college football right now who would not be playing college football if Landon wasn't playing at Pleasant Grove, Marcus wasn't playing at Pleasant Grove, and Clayton wasn't playing at Texas High. Them kids would not have been seen because we wouldn't have had random colleges tuning in to watch those football games, showing up at those football games if it wasn't for them.
I agree.
Back in the day when Robert Cochran had his good girls basketball teams here, there was nothing.
They were great, not good. They were great.
To go to Wayne's and see a lot of the girls. That's not the lady that was at Baylor that left. What was her name? She went to LSU.
Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, down at Wayne's, sitting down at the little country store Wayne's having a burger because she'd been to Liberty-Eylau.
Yeah.
That says a lot for the town in itself.
Speaking of, and I'm not going to be able to remember this girl's name, from Texarkana, was 3-time 5A or 6A female basketball player of the year in the state of Texas, from Texarkana. She's going to LSU. You happen to know she went to Texas. She was in TISD. Before game day started.
She went to Longview, didn't she?
No, she went to, what's the team? Duncanville. Is it Duncanville that won the state championships, the girls, over and over? So she went to Duncanville for exposure. Turned out great for her, but if game day was around then, could have been a lot different for her. She could have been able to stay here in Texarkana.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she's LSU. She's actually projected second team All-American as a freshman.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey, that's good. I love it, man. I love it,
Well, I like it because, and Landon and I discussed this a little bit before we got on here, but it is fun for me to watch on Saturdays and soon to be watch on Sundays of our local talent.
Yes, sir.
And hearing them say the words Texarkana,
Yeah.
Liberty-Eylau, Texas High, Pleasant Grove. It is just it's a lot of pride coming from a fan, coming from someone who's from the area, and knowing that we've got young men and young ladies being as successful as they are. I mean, T.J. Cole is just wearing it out this year.
Yes. Oh, yes. People think he's not on the radar. They are so
he's
wrong.
going to the East-West Shrine game. That's one of the top senior bowls, and I mean,
he's having a year.
90% of those guys get drafted out of that.
Right,
So he's definitely on the way. But hey, change it up a little bit. One question I want to ask, because obviously I coached you when you were at Pleasant Grove and things like that, and saw how hard you worked, and I just want you to tell all these kids out here that are watching or adults that are watching, like how hard you worked to get there. It wasn't it wasn't just, hey, you showed up and you were a dominant player. It was, all those times that you went late night things. And
I mean, it doesn't matter how much athleticism, size you have. I mean, even these guys. I mean, I know a lot of the guys on the team right now that got their offers not just because they go out there and ball out Friday night. I mean, they're up there 5 a.m., 6 a.m. getting extra work. I mean, going up there on the weekends, training. I mean, coming to work out with you at Walker Resolutions. So I mean, you always got to do something extra on the field and off the field. So
I can remember. My greatest memory of you wasn't on the football field, it was on the basketball court. I did a segment with Morgan him on game day, and you were going up to either get a rebound or block a shot, and you got an undercut. I think I screamed and hollered the loudest, get him off that court like now. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Get him off. Because I know what your future was, and I didn't want to see you go out there and get hurt doing something that was secondary to you. Get him off the court. There's no reason for him to be out here doing this. Get him off.
Yeah. Well, man, I've always said this. Nobody's done more for game day than Landon Jackson.
Yes.
I don't know if game day would even be what it was if you hadn't bought in initially with us. Man, always appreciative of that. But we are 29 minutes to kickoff. And always good to see you, brother.
You too.
Man. Best of luck rest of the season. I'll be there when I can. I've enjoyed being able to cover the Razorbacks this year. Probably wouldn't be able to if Landon wasn't on the team. Let's just call it what it is.
Just don't go bear hunting with him. Don't do that.
Hey, man, I'm not scared of bears. I'm trying to tell y'all.
I ain't saying he's not.
I ain't taking Landon where I go. With my luck, Landon would get attacked, and everybody would be like, this guy.
You have to move.
I've learned to stand still. They don't bother me. That's what I learned. When you run, you create attention. And he's talking about photographing. I don't shoot bears. I don't do none of that.
I'm talking about photographing.
All right, I don't send PETA after me or anything. We just take good pictures of them.
He does. Great
I
job.
like to travel to places that I have no business being, and the only reason I can be there is because I'm going to take a picture. And nobody ever says anything. That's the reason you do it. If I was there for any other reason, they'd like, what are you doing out here? But anyway, enough about that. All right, brother, appreciate it. Let's do this. Let's end. Game will be live here in about 15 minutes. Tune back in. Be sure to share it. Enjoy your Friday night.
Nice seeing you, man.
Nice to see you.